Balotelli, Aguero!
Hello everybody, welcome to MCFC 9320 Group TV. Hope you're all well this lovely bank holiday weekend. Who would you say is the most famous City fan these days? Would you say the Gallaghers? Yeah. Who was the original, and I say this, the original City fan who, through the dark days when we was absolutely rubbish, didn't jump on any bandwagons or anything like that like the Gallaghers do now? Curly Watts from Coronation Street. Do you remember him? Kev Kennedy? The passion that fella has, you know, for City, and still has, is unbelievable. Last night I caught up with Kev. He took a little bit of time out to talk to me. So this is what Kev had to say. It's a cracking interview, and he's an absolute diamond of a. He's just a diamond, and you can tell the passion he's got for City. This is what Kev had to say. Good evening, everybody. I am delighted to welcome this evening Mr. Kevin Kennedy. Kev, how are you, buddy?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm happier after that result down at Filbert Street. Or it's not Filbert Street anymore now, is it? It's
no, the King Stadium.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
I played for Leicester. I played in Gordon Banks's testimonial.
Did you?
Many years ago at the old Filbert Street. So I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Leicester, but I'm glad we beat them today.
Yeah, I don't think he was in the street when you were. What's it called? Is it Dennis Nielsen? Roy Cropper? He's
a big Leicester fan.
Yeah, a big Leicester fan he is. Yeah.
And my mate Sam Bailey, who won the X Factor, she's a massive Leicester fan as well. So I shall be messaging her later.
I remember not long after she won the X Factor, I think she was on either a half time at Leicester. Just the game, I think it was a midweek game when we actually played them.
Yeah, well, I do like them I like them as a club. Actually, I think they're decent fans. It's a well-run club, and they're decent enough fans, you know. So, and I wish them well. You know,
So we just briefly said then, just before we came on air, that Brendan Rodgers, like when Pep decides he wants to go, I won't mind Brendan Rodgers having a bit of a go with us, because he bottled it a little bit at Liverpool. I thought,
you see, that's it. He's been tainted with that Liverpool thing now. Do we really want that? I don't know. Maybe I'm too biased, but I don't know. I say Everton's manager, if we could get him, I think he'd be
Carlo
cool.
Ancelotti. Yeah, he's like. I don't think he'll go anywhere soon, because by all accounts he's good friends with the Everton hierarchy. You know, that's the main reason why he went there, and he brought that. They say James Rodriguez. It's James to me. It's JMSE. You know, JMES. I mean, I know it's James.
Who knows? He could come. I mean, Pep, it's going to be a long time before Pep goes. And Pep's happy, so. You can tell he's happy, and I know Pep wouldn't go to another English club, so we're well in there for a long time yet.
Yeah, would Aguero go to another English club? You know, there's rumours of it.
I heard him whisper him going to United. He's not going to go there. No chance.
There's strong rumours about Chelsea. Surely he wouldn't go to another Premier League club.
I don't think so. I think he want to end his career with Independiente or someone.
Independiente. Yeah, Independiente. Yeah, back in Argentina. But he's going to Barcelona anyway with his mate Messi. Surely.
You reckon?
It seems that way. You know,
he didn't look great. I've got to admit, though, he didn't look great today. He looked off the pace. He looked very rusty indeed. I mean, do you think we've seen the best of him?
Yes, I have, but the man love I've got for him. Okay.
Oh, indeed. I mean, oh, without a doubt. I mean, you know, I just don't see him going to another British club, another Premier club. I just can't see it. I hope not.
It's hard enough, you know, knowing that he's going to be going, but But if he went to another English club, that'd break me heart. That it really would.
Can you imagine him in a Chelsea shirt? It looks like you'd feel like you're watching another man kiss your wife, wouldn't it? It was just you'd just be wrong with him in a Chelsea shirt.
Whereas at the moment, you're exactly right. It'd be like at the moment, it's like if I came home from work and found Aguero in bed with my missus, I'd make him a brew and tuck him in. Whereas if he went to Chelsea, it would be like you say, kissing your wife without permission.
I just no, I can't see it. I can't see it.
Let's hope not. So what have you made of the season so far? With the way we started off sluggish, do you put that down to lack of, pre-season? Because we was effectively had a week off straight after the Champions League, didn't we?
It's been a weird season altogether. I have to admit, and many Blues might not agree with this, but I think that the lack of crowds has done City a big favour. I think without that crowd behind the opposing sides, we would have found it a lot harder. I think it's really suited us. Whereas I think other teams have suffered without that roar behind them.
Yeah, well, over the top 5 European leagues, there's never been any more away victories, ever, and that's down to no fans in. So there's no like you say, there's no hostility. The way we went to Anfield and breezed it, we wouldn't have been breezing it, if the crowd was there. Even like Leicester are quite noisy. You're absolutely right, mate. And maybe it's our advantage because apparently we can't fill our stadium. We've got no fans, so it's like playing home when we're away.
It's amazing. That's how far City have come and how far our competitors have fallen. Remember when they used to criticise us for not being very good at football? Well, that was fair enough, and now it's all about empty seats, which I just, just let them get on with it.
It's staggering, and so a couple of my City supporting mates, they actually started feeling sorry a little bit, for United, and I went, hang on, just look back to that 34-year banner, and you'll give your head a wobble, because that just brings everything into perspective.
Absolutely. And there was talk of putting a banner up with United's lack of success, and I don't want that.
No,
I don't want us to go to that level. Bringing that down, certain of City fans of our generation, that was there for nearly all the time I was supporting City.
Yeah, 34 years, pal. It's and I was lucky enough to be there when we won the league with that Aguero moment, and to see the scoreboard, getting from 34 all the way down to 0. That was just like, it was like a monkey off our back, if you like.
Yeah.
Was you at that match?
No, I was here. I was in Brighton. I just got back from a tour, so I couldn't get to go and see them. It's been strange. The last 15 years since I've left Corrie, I've got to games. I've been to finals, and I've been to quite a fair bit of home games, but I've seen most of my games in different parts of the country. In fact, different parts of the world.
Yeah.
I've seen them. I got off. I was working on the ships for a while, and I used to go to. I was very lucky. One of our runs was into Bermuda.
Wow.
And I used to go there wearing my Sean Gota t-shirt, which the locals loved. And there was an Irish pub.
I bet you was treated like a king, weren't you?
Sorry?
I bet you was treated like a king wearing the Gota shirt.
Oh. Well, he is God there. So, so yeah. So I've seen a lot of City all over in different parts of the world and the country, really.
Yeah. So going back to Corrie, that's where you first, made your name and stuff like that. Yeah. What was it like? Because you joined there at quite an early age, didn't you? Into the acting, and you were, if I'm not mistaken, you went from, was it a paper boy? This shows how old I was. It a paper boy into the bin man, and then Reggie's number 2? Yeah,
I went paper boy, bin man, student into retail into better buys, and onwards. Yeah. So Yeah, so I did what, 20 odd years there, 20 years. And I had a good time because I was at home in Manchester, which a place I adore, and I could go to the gigs that were on, and I could go and see City every other week, and that was brilliant for me. And I've got to admit, it was a time when City weren't that sort of popular, not in Manchester but everywhere else. And I flew the flags for City for a long, long time.
You certainly did, because it's that and I'm not. Even now, if people say who's City's most famous fans, straight away they say the Gallaghers, and then they say Curly Watts.
Yeah.
And you must be proud of that as being one of the most recognised and famous City fans.
I am, because people were talking about the fact that there was you're frozen there, mate. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, pal. Yep. You hear me? Have you got me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I've got you loud and clear, buddy.
Let me just check my...
Your internet.
I'll put...
Have you got me? So yeah, you was...
yeah.
It was saying you like...
I think...
Yeah, you are in...
I think, even...
Have you got me?
I keep losing you.
I think it's your... Have you got me now? Yeah, got me.
I'm on the Zoom, Claire.
Get Claire
I'm going to have to go down.
Get Claire on as well.
No, she's running about. I mean, I'm very lucky. I mean, the even Manchester United have got a song about me, which I think it's brilliant. And people say, "Aren't you upset?" I says, "No. No. Have they got a song about? Have you got a song? Have they got a song about you? No. Shut up."
Yeah, exactly. So it must be a proud moment.
So yeah, so I was very much a flag waving.
You was. Can you hear us, buddy?
So I was like a banana carrying, flag waving, Manchester City lunatic, right through those up and down years in the 80s. And was very proud of it, And I've got to say, the club have never forgotten that.
And that's good.
Even now, they are a massive outfit. They've never forgotten about what I, supposedly did for the club.
When we was rubbish, you carried the mantle. Whereas the Gallaghers, they jumped on board after that, didn't they? Whereas you was the number one fan,
Back doing the heading, mate. I'll go downstairs and try it there.
Okay, pal.
Yeah, I'm a veteran of York away and Lincoln away and places like that, and so now I find it great that we're doing what we're doing now, and we're going to places like Bayern Munich and Rome and all the places we've been, but I don't ever forget where we've come from.
Absolutely.
Do you remember Wigan when we had the tickets were printed on like raffle tickets?
Yeah, and just like you touched upon then, Lincoln away, are you talking about the League Cup game?
Yeah, it was a Tuesday night or something crazy.
Yeah, I come back that morning from my honeymoon and dropped literally the cases were dropped in, and I shut off, and my missus was going, man, it's like, where are you going? I went, I'm going to Lincoln. Like, I actually got the ticket coming back from Manchester Airport. So I called at Maino, got the ticket, and she thought I was getting a ticket for the weekend or something. So dinner time, set off. Yeah, we was 1-0 up, if I'm not mistaken. Rosler scored after about 30 seconds, and we got mullered 3-1. But games like that, I don't know what your stance is. When people say to me, Kev, it must be a joy watching your team now. What's your best season? I always cite our old third division game, the season as one of the best, because going away to the Gillinghams, the Colchesters, the Berries, of this world, the Stockports. It was one of, home and away I went, and it's, I think of 86 competitive stadiums I've seen City, City playing, and that's down to the likes of the Gillinghams. So our generation, that's where we're grounded.
Well, it was a real commitment to go as well, wasn't it? I mean, it's now, you got in the grounds, you get the best of facilities and all that. It certainly wasn't then. And that made it all the more interesting. And so, as I say, some of the places we went were just bananas, I mean, literally. But some of the games, like Norwich away, when what's the name had a few too many and started let's be having you. That one as well. There's a few. Ipswich in the cup.
Yeah.
Away, that was a good one as well. So we are grounded in that. We have, and I don't think we have forgotten where we've come from. We do have a lot of people who've just started following City, and that's fair enough. I knew we'd made it. I went on holiday to Disney, and we went to the Epcot Centre. Oh, yeah. And where you get to the England bit, there's like a sports section, and they were selling City shirts there. And I thought, that's it. We've actually arrived.
Cracked it.
That's when I first, because I started seeing a lot of City shirts because I worked in the West End in London for a long time. When I started seeing City shirts around the place, it was very odd. You never normally saw that. It was mostly United shirts in London or Spurs and Chelsea, which is fair enough. But you never see any kind of City shirts. But then they kept springing up now and again. So you saw them here and there on the tube.
Times have changed, haven't they? So during your time with Corrie, who was the big? Bruce was a big blue as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, I was the original blue. There was no other blues apart from Alma.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a massive blue, and then most of them were United fans. Phil Middlemas, he was a Liverpool fan. For some of the crew were City fans, to be fair.
Yeah, Steve McDonald is a blue, isn't he?
He lives next door to Summerby.
Does he?
Yeah. So he always says, "I'll pop over for one glass of wine," and he's there for about 5 hours. Talking football.
Do you remember in 1998, Stoke away? You was there, weren't you, with Bruce?
Yeah.
Was he a bit of a ruckus with the Stoke fans? Did you with Bruce get attacked or something?
No.
Getting off the minibus. That was the rumour going round. Like, you came off the minibus right at the front, and you know what it was like. It was hostility at Stoke anyway.
Still is. That's the worst ground in the world. That place.
Even above Millwall.
Well, Millwall, I wouldn't even dream of going to Millwall.
No.
Did you read that brilliant article? I think it was in the Guardian about, or one of the high class papers about City away at Millwall and how City fans had managed to get in, and had managed to keep their mouths shut. There was a great article about that. Problem with Bruce is Bruce can, God love him, he gets so passionate, he gets a bit gobby. So I sort of shut up, Bruce. So.
Yeah, I thought he was there on that day.
Yeah, we ended up in Stockport at the wrong end as well.
Yeah,
and that wasn't good. Right at the front.
And you can't exactly say I'm not a City fan.
No. So we've been at the bad end of a bit of stuff. I was at Old Trafford when we got beat 5-0 at the wrong end as well. Yeah. I was it.
Was that on a Thursday night? Can Chelsea do that hat-trick? Yeah. I remember it well. I wasn't at the game, but I remember hiding drunk behind my mate's sofa because he's a red.
Yeah. I also went in the cop by accident as well.
How'd you keep making these accidents?
Because I was mad to get to the game, and I just drove to Liverpool, right? And I just ran in the first turnstile I saw that had let me in, and it was the cop. And we drew 0-0, so it was all right. But they just took the piss out of me and left me alone. Really, I think I think they're quite fair like that. The Scousers. I was in there, I was on my own, and everyone just looked at me as if I was an idiot. So, so I can say I've been in the cop watching a game, watching the City draw.
Have you always been well received from all sorts of fans?
Pretty much. You get the odd idiot, just as in life. But most of the time, because they know that I'm old school. I've been following them for years. It's not as if I'm a Johnny come lately. And wherever I was, as I said, when I was doing TV interviews, I used to have a really good time with Eamon on This Morning.
Big Red, isn't it?
Yeah. But the thing is, you can always tell we do the interview or what we were doing the interview about, which is usually Coronation Street or something. And then he'd say thank you very much, and but if you look closely, you can always see he's arguing about football as it went on to something else. And so it was always cool. And I used to get City in as much as I could. Every time I did an interview, I'd mention Manchester City.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, you are the original celebrity City fan before the Gallagher started. Turning up at the odd game and getting you used to go home and away as we know. So. Did you used to go to many games with Bruce and any of the Celebrity City crew?
Not really. I went when I lived in Didsbury. I went with my mates from the local pub, and the odd time when it was getting tricky to get a ticket, I'd have to pull the celeb thing. I think the most celeb it's ever been was Watford away one night, and I walked into the end, and there was the Gallagher brothers, John Stapleton, and a few other people all in the away end, and that was a laugh. And I've seen John, who's a massive Blue. I've seen him at West Ham away and here, there, and the other. When City play down in London, that's where you probably did bump into the more of the celebs. Certainly at the Wembley appearances we've been to. But as I say, for years I just went with my mates in the pub,
and that's a credit to you. Like I say, not throwing the celebrity thing. You're just going with your mates who you've grown up with and stuff like that. Rather, because you do get a lot of people. I did an interview with Jason Manford last week, and he's exactly the same. And I remember playing a charity match where he didn't play, but he come on he just more or less stepped up to take a penalty, ballooned it. I think it's still in orbit now, and he retook it, and he stopped my team from winning. It ended up a draw, and he was saying, it's you've got to be grounded. Like, I don't know if you've caught up with the stuff he was doing through COVID and stuff like that. Being driving people about, elderly people and stuff, and it's credit. And you're in the same kind of mold, aren't you? Because after what was you doing after you finished Corrie? You people may not have seen you on a soap opera, but you're still very, very successful. Like you say, on the West End and stuff like that.
I did a lot of West End musicals. I did Chicago, We Will Rock You, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, all sorts. And of course, with it being theatre, that goes from Monday to Saturday. So getting to games was practically impossible. But I did have people stay on a Saturday afternoon who would tell me the score in the wings.
Right.
Yeah. I've got a great City story, actually. I did my first movie, and this is City related, so it's not me just name dropping what have you. Just before Christmas, I did my first movie role, and I went out to Bucharest in Romania to film with Billy Zane.
All right.
And Billy Zane is a Hollywood A-lister, and I was getting a bit nervous. Well, this guy's going to be okay and everything, and he was a gentleman. But we started chatting about football, and he told me his great story that he was filming in Manchester for about 10 months. And he lived in the same block of apartments that some of the City lads were in and some of the City coaches. Right. So they invited him along, and he watched City from one of the boxes. So one of the great thing about football, it's a great leveler. So there's me, this kid from Wythenshawe talking to Billy Zane, Hollywood A-lister, and we had Manchester City in common, and that was great. So as I say, I'm not name dropping. That is the love of football, and how it's an example of how it's a leveler.
Football is always a great icebreaker as well, because I know in my job when I do interviews, the first question is, who do you support? Whether it's male or female, who do you support? Does that? It doesn't persuade me whether they get the job or not.
No,
seriously, it doesn't. But it's a good icebreaker, just because it relaxes everybody, so much. But who'd have thought somebody like Billy Zane, and I should imagine he'll have an affection for City, and then he'll talk about that to other A-listers and stuff like that, and it does snowball, especially the popularity with the City Football Group in New York.
Yeah, well, he wanted us to go and watch a game. We had a European game against a Greek side, and I said, do you want to go and watch the match? If we can see, you can watch the match anyway. But because it was all in lockdown, we just couldn't get to see it on anything. As it turned out, he was filming that night anyway, and I wasn't, so I managed to watch it on the telly. But as you say, it's because it's something you're passionate about. It's something that it's neutral. You can talk about.
Yeah.
So, and I thought that was a brilliant introduction. We could talk about that.
Yeah. So, what's on your T-shirt? Is that one of your projects?
No, that's Recovery Rocks, which is, as you know, myself and Manchester City went into decline. City was falling down the leagues, and I was falling into the bottle, and we both got our act together around about 1998. So what I do now, or what we do now, Claire and I, is we run a charity called Kennedy Street, which we've been running on for 22 years now. Yeah. And basically this is Recovery Rocks, which is one of our T-shirts, because we like to come up with new slogans, and recovery is the new rock and roll.
And a part of your West End as well, Recovery Rocks.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so we do a lot of that, but we've been doing a lot of that over the lockdowns, because people are scared and have been turning to self-medication, whether it be drinking or drugs or shopping or getting on Amazon and buying stuff they can't afford. It's rife.
Amazon, and I don't know why. I think it's because you can't spend your money anywhere, and my wife's sick of me stuff Amazon popping up here, or I get it ordered to work, and it's like I don't need it. But it's like you say, it's been, the past year's been tough for a lot of people. Like it's all in my line of work. It's okay because it's been business as usual for me, because I've been interacting with people, because it's it's not affected my job. But the people, even some of my mates, who are as affected, it's incredible, the way they just almost in isolation, not being able to, go to the match with the mates, or, go for a game of five-a-side. How have you found lockdown?
Well, it was tough, I mean, I was out, I was in America, I was rehearsing, and everything was going well. And all of a sudden, we all got sent home. And it was like this time last year, it was like March. I was sat there, didn't know what to do with myself. I got stuck back into my music and made a lot of music and did a lot of stuff with the charity. And I'm very lucky, I live down in Brighton, because that's with London. It's been a lot of where my work is, and it's sunny down here. We got the beach, so that's been great. So that's been really good for me. Swimming in the sea nearly every day, and that's been okay. I only live about 2-3 streets away from the beach, right. So that's been cool. But it doesn't stop me, remembering how tough it's been for other people out there who are stuck in a flat or something like that. It must be awful. But I've used the time well, productively, with the charity, with making music, and it's been great. This is the longest I've ever been home as well. So
I should imagine that's good for Claire and the kids as well.
Yeah, I've been being daddy, taking the kids to school and just being around for the kids. I'm back off to work soon. I will see the end of the season, and the is it the World Cup or the European Champions?
Euros, the Euros.
So I will see the Euros in foreign climes. I think I'm going back on board one of the ships to do a show. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to going back to work, full stop. It's been nice at home, but we
want to get back to work.
We spent up now.
Yeah, it's going to earn some money.
Absolutely.
Is one of your desires ever to get back on, Corrie?
You know what? Never say never. Of course, I would love to go back. I think Norman was a very interesting bloke, very interesting character, very multi-dimensional. And I'm in the job of telling stories, as is Coronation Street. We are storytellers, and I think possibly the story of what he's been doing for the last 16 years and how that's affected him and how he would react to other members or other people who live in the street. It would be quite interesting.
Would you like him to come back as a bit of a baddie or still a softie?
No, I'd like him to just. I don't know. I'm very lucky. I trust the writers. The writers have been brilliant for me. They've written some amazing. All the funny stuff we did with Reg, all the heartbreak stuff with Raquel. All that. I got to play a lot of different things. So I would leave it up to them because they're very good at it.
Yeah. So how old would that child be now? Yours and Raquel's?
Well, I don't think we are. No, well, we. Oh, she was Alice. Alice, yeah, she would be about 18 now.
Yeah. So, for Sarah Lancashire, she's been successful as well. Like never say never.
Never say never. I mean, Alice would be quite an interesting thing because she'd be 18 and French, of course.
Yeah, she liked her French, did Raquel, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, Alice was born in France, wasn't she? So
yeah,
there is that. Who knows? We'll wait and see.
It would be smashing to get you back on there because it's almost like there's unfinished business there.
Yeah, there is. I think. I mean, I'd like to finish that story off one way or another, and of course, the main reason, of course, is to go and be able to go to home games.
Yeah,
that would be. I still get up for games though. If I'm going away in a long one, I think the last game I went to was live was the semi-final against United.
Right, at Wembley.
No, up at the Etihad.
Ah, right, yeah.
I think we got beat as well.
Yeah, we beat them at Old Trafford, didn't we? And then they beat us at the Etihad. That's right. Yeah,
that was the last game I went to, and then I went straight to America.
Right,
and
so I should imagine you by the sounds of it, you was really, really busy before lockdown, and you still. The plans straight back to work and again.
I had 2 years work lined up, ready to go, and I thought that was great, and then it all went overnight, really. Now I've just signed on to do this. We Will Rock You on Royal Caribbean, and that'll take me through till next March.
Right.
So, and that's great. I enjoy being at sea. I enjoy that life. I enjoy going into different ports and trying to find a pub that's got City on.
Yeah.
And it's great because as you know, as we've just talked about, it's a great leveler. When you walk in a pub, and especially if you're English, you've got an English accent and you just want to watch the football. It's and I don't drink anymore, so I ordered myself a cup of tea and I said, "Can I watch the football?" It's a different ball game.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right, and how times have changed because exactly what you said. When me and the family have been abroad, they're not football fans. Well, my lad's a football fan, but my daughter and my wife's not a football fan. So I'll go in a bar somewhere, and they say, "Who do you support?" And straight away, it used to be United. They used to say United. It's like City, and they know more about City now than they do United, and that always gives me a wry little smile.
It does. I was in a boozer in Florida, and watching the match, and my phone started beeping, and it was a hurricane warning, telling me to stay where I was. I thought, in my drinking days, this would have been ideal, but yeah. So I've watched the Blues in some strange places. I tell you, and I've been physically to some strange places. What was that place in Poland we went to? Oh, that was a weird one.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird one as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. Even the likes of like the Poznan, things like that. City adopted the Poznan.
Yeah.
What did you like the Poznan? I didn't like it very much. I must admit. I like originality, and that wasn't originality.
I know, but when we did it at the when we beat United in the FA Cup,
you can feel it, and you could feel it.
The whole place was banging. That was just joyous.
Yeah.
That was good. I like stuff like that. I enjoy this. I mean, I took my City were playing down here at Brighton, and I took my girls who were born in Manchester, and they love the kind of mank wit and the piss take that goes on, and they really enjoyed that, So long may that continue.
The Southerners don't really get our sense of humour, do they?
No. And my two girls, they've got the City scarves up in the bedrooms, and they like to come with me to the matches now and again. I took them to the League Cup final against Arsenal, and I was saying, you don't know how lucky you are. This is to come into this game now. I used to follow City for years before I got anywhere near Wembley.
Yeah,
but they enjoyed that. They enjoy it, and it's nice to pass that on.
I remember the days when I'd have settled for winning a throw-in, but now it's.
I'm watching today's game. I thought, Leicester. I was getting very uptight. God love it. Fair play. I've given Mendy a lot of stick this season for stupid mistakes. But he curled that one in today beautifully. I thought that was.
It was, and it's not until you've seen the slow motion of that, the way he dinked it over the defender's leg. It's. Yeah, I'm not Mendy's biggest fan, but with Mahrez, I wasn't his biggest fan as well. But he's changed my mindset. The probably the past 4 or 5 months. The way he's actually his work ethic now, and his touch, it's incredible.
Oh, with best touch I've seen, he brings it down, but he brings it down and then does something stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I was thinking about who we're going to get in the summer. A lot of people say we don't really need a striker, but I think we do. I think
we do. What's your thoughts on Aguero going? I know we touched on it a little bit earlier, but I'm devastated. I really am.
Oh, well, we were all expecting it, though, weren't we? He's been injured. He's not been up to his best, and but he's at that age, isn't he? Fair play to him. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but we definitely, I think, need a striker. I don't think Haaland is the right move. I think he's too expensive for what he is.
I think that's morally wrong, considering the year the world is just coming out of, to pay absolutely stupid money. I do think it's morally wrong. But Pep said something really interesting in his press conference. I don't know if you caught it. He said, "Where we won't be buying a striker." Now, straight away, I thought, does that mean we're going to get one on a free transfer? A Messi or I think Muller's available on a free transfer from Bayern Munich. Is he being clever with his words?
I think so. Or maybe, I think we should get, I think, and this again might raise a few eyebrows. I think we should get Rashford.
Rashford?
Yeah. From United.
Would that work?
I think he'll be a lot better player when Pep gets hold of him, I think.
Yeah. No, it's a great shout. And, players have crossed the divide, many times. And, I wouldn't rule everyone. Like at the moment, the talk is Harry Kane as well. I can't see that happening for some reason.
I can't. I'm not a fan of Harry Kane, to be fair.
He's not a Pep type player.
No, he doesn't do it for me. Pep likes a midfield, loves a midfielder, doesn't he? So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think we will get a striker. I don't think we'll be paying mad money. I think you may be right. We're getting someone at the end of their career-ish.
Bring Dzeko back.
Why not? Why not? I think we need a striker because it's just another option.
Yeah, when like you say, when the chips are down. But the way we set up at the moment, and as much as I love Aguero, I can feel the tears in my eyes now. Even today we played better. I thought when he went off, the movement and stuff like that. And
today was the perfect game for Aguero because, with all due respect to him and to Leicester City, if we'd have lost, it wouldn't have been the end of the world.
No.
It was a good team selection today, I thought. But we've got keeping in mind who we've got on Tuesday. Mind you, they got beat again, didn't they?
Sancho's supposed to be out,
right?
As well. So that's a big bonus for us. I think it'll be a good test for Haaland as well, you know, to see, you know, going up against a top
Yeah.
team, you know, how he would cope, because I think that'd be a good gauge how he would play it, you know, if he was to come across to the Premier League. But I'm with you. I think that striker will come in, although they are saying that young Delap looks like he'll be training full time with the City squad. Which,
well, why not? I mean, if they brought in Haaland, that'd be fine. But I don't think we should be paying that amount of money. I mean, what did we? I think the most we paid recently was 67 million or something.
Peanuts, peanut.
Yeah, but if we, you know, I'd go as high as 80 million for him. But I wouldn't go in. I wouldn't pay daft money. He's only 20 years of age. Bless him. So, and there's bad blood between Aguero and his agent. And I think whether that counts against the lad, I don't know. But I know that Pep won't be doing the talking. But I would leave that down to the club officials, I think. But I can't see that. There's been lots of different talk, haven't there?
Yeah, I do think it's very important that we do bring a striker in, though, because if we lost, say, you know, through injury, say, a Gabriel Jesus or a Sterling, okay, yeah, we have got people like Bernardo who can, you know, play down the middle, but you want somebody who can bang it away instinctively, you know, natural finisher. And we early on in the season that's where we missed it a little. We missed the Aguero because he's the typical fox in the box. You know, if that ball comes to him, he'll bang that away. Every time he has an injury, it takes him about 7 games to get back to full speed.
And we have to change everything. You know, like you say, in the early parts of the season, we were still playing balls to where Aguero used to be, and we weren't getting anywhere. So we have to change the whole system. Like Gundogan came in and was just amazing.
Incredible.
But we can't rely on that. We're going to have to get some kind of striker, whether it be Delap or whoever. You know, but we need a striker.
What do you think we can achieve for the rest of this? What is it? We potentially, I think it's 12 matches. If we win our next, well, we don't have to win all our 12 matches. We'd have to win all the Premier League ones. Is the quad on, or is it pie in the sky?
My head tells me no. My heart goes, of course we can do it. It's just, I don't know. It would be amazing. Whether that can happen or not, I don't know.
Considering the way football's been really, really weird, you know, for the past year, it's been that way. Even lower league clubs have been top of the Premier League, like United.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But there's the rub, isn't it? We'll win it, and we'll win it all, and the criticism would be, yeah, but you'd never do that in a normal season. So we can't really win either way here.
Take it.
Yeah, of course I would. Yeah. I mean, I think we'll pick up trophies. I think Big Ears is the one we want. That would be something.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a lot harder than a lot of people are saying it is. It's not going to be easy that at all. There's still some amazing clubs in there, and some clubs that still have the Indian sign over us to a certain extent. You know, we've still got to get past the likes of Liverpool and maybe and is Bayern still in?
Yeah, Bayern is still in it. Juventus, Real Madrid. I don't really. Everyone's fearing. Paris Saint-Germain still in it. There's still a lot, like you say. There's still a lot of top clubs in there, but
top clubs.
They're on neutral venues now, so you know, because of the way the world is. So anything can happen. But I can't see. I'm with you. You know, my head says not a chance. My heart says, of course we are. And I think that's an old school City fan. You know, where we still sometimes, you know, think we can snatch a defeat out the jaws of victory.
Well, we'd be 5-0 up, and I'd still be worried. You know, but that's, as you quite rightly say, that's a generation of City fans that have seen us throw it away.
Yeah.
But who knows? I hope so. I think we'll definitely win something. I think the league is pretty much wrapped up.
Maximum 11 points we need now.
6 games left, is there?
7 out of 7. I think 7 games left. Maximum of 11 points, and that's if our rivals, you know, win all their games. We need 11 points, but I can't see it going that far, in all honesty, the way the season's gone.
No, there's always surprises. I mean, look at Chelsea today, and who got one sent off and they fell apart.
Yeah,
Big Sam doing his thing, which is fair enough. So who knows? I think our league games are going to be harder because I think Pep will try and keep his strongest sides for the cup competitions now.
Yeah, you could sort of see that today, the way he was just, once we got 2-0 up, he started, bringing people up.
Started bringing off. I mean, De Bruyne's was just, did you see De Bruyne's pass today? Left two defenders on the backsides. It was just, excuse me, I have a drink.
I thought De Bruyne today was quality, but I thought there was a little bit of petulance with him as well. The way he went down looking to get somebody sent off. That's not the De Bruyne we know and love. I don't like seeing that in. Yeah,
but he was getting kicked about a lot of the time. A lot of people say that about Jesus, but Jesus, I should say. But he, if you look at the tackles that go in on Jesus, I think he shows remarkable restraint sometimes. And I thought De Bruyne today was getting roughed up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So fair play to him, and he wants to win, and he's a winner, and he won't. Although he looks meek and mild, when that red haze comes down, I reckon. I'm glad they brought him off. I thought he was going to get sent off.
Yeah, straight away. And did you see Foden, the way he was laughing at him, basically saying you was going to get yourself sent off if you're the then.
Yeah.
But
Foden.
What an incredible season for not even just for City, but for England. I had him down as man of the match in two of the recent England matches. The way he looks. One of my United support. Yeah, I have got the odd United supporting mate, unfortunately. When I said, he's the closest thing we've got to Gaza, he laughed at me. But look, I think he is the closest thing we've got to a Gaza, for a long, long time.
Well, if you're talking about the red side, I think he's a close between Gaza and maybe Scholes. He's that kind of tenacious, stuck in, but bright. He's got an intelligent football brain. He's too pacey. He's 2 moves ahead, isn't he? In his head. I thought we had a good game today. I think Walker had a good game, although he worries me sometimes.
Yeah, he's always inclined to give a penalty or a silly free kick away. But what impact has Diaz had since he's come in? It's
unbelievable, isn't that?
Yeah, I think we've lost once in the league since the Spurs, when we got beat 2-0 off Spurs. So that just shows his organisation, and he can play right or left centre back. So when Stones is playing, Diaz plays to the left. Yeah, and he just does it with so much ease.
And there's again Stones. I mean, what a turnaround that is. And that's testament to the player. I mean, he's really got stuck in, and he's had a great season. Got his place back in England. And he's imperious as well now. He's got that back. He made a mistake with England, which was always thinking, I was wondering if he was going to play today, because Stones, when he makes a mistake, usually we don't get away with it.
He did the assist for the winning goal though for Maguire.
There you go. So he made up for that.
Is it Harry Maguire or is it really Haley Cropper?
Yeah, it does. I can see it could be, couldn't it? Yeah.
Have they ever been seen in the same place at once?
Well, that's it. I mean, Haley playing for England. Who knows? That would be fun.
So, Kev, the ideal scenario for me as a Blue, I don't know if you agree, is the last home game against Everton. Aguero will get a fitting send-off, unlike we've been able to do with David Silva.
Well, are they letting fans in? That's the thing.
Apparently, for the last home game, if things go all right, the last home game, they'll be up to, I think it's 10,000 fans or something.
No, I think we should have a proper wait until all this is
over and celebrate style.
And then we'll do the whole lot. I think we should get Company and Silva and Aguero in a massive testimonial.
It's got to happen.
I think that's the one. I mean, they're going to give Aguero a statue and company and David Silva, because they were the main, the kind of the most, the spine of that team.
The class of that's the last of the class of 2012, isn't it? You know, it's what once Sergio goes, but Pep's done really well by bringing people in where, you know, it's been like seamless. Like Pep's first season was a case of I don't think he was expecting to win anything. He knew he had to get the old guard out like Zabaleta and Kolarov and stuff like that, and the cliches and the season after we didn't look back. We absolutely took it by storm. But the way he's gone on from there, it's just been seamless. You know, where he's moved players out. You know, and he's brought the right, more than adequate players in. Like you say, Gundogan, he was Pep's first signing, and he was injured when he bought him. So it just shows how much he really, really wanted Gundogan. Like Rodri's been I like Rodri. I think he is a big presence.
Yep, Cancelo, I think as well. I mean,
didn't feature today.
I know, but I mean, I'm glad because we're going to need him on Tuesday. And as he drifts, I love him because he started to play balls like De Bruyne, but he started to drift in from the back,
outside of the foot. He likes that little speciality, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it's just more. It's more strings to our bow, isn't it? And that's the way, because we've got to be patient to break teams down. You know, we have a lot of possession, which is very pretty to watch, but we need those killer balls. Yeah. And now we've got De Bruyne playing those balls in, Rodri, and now Cancelo doing the same thing. It's better for us, you know.
And even Diaz, he and even Edison, they can pop the odd the odd passing, can't they?
Well, that's it. I mean, that's the power of City at the minute. You don't know where it's going to come from.
No.
Yeah, and you really don't know what shape they're going to be in. They seem to go from they go from back fours.
Better shape than me, Kev.
Yeah, they go from back fours to back threes, sometimes the back twos, and the defenders are moving into midfield. You're overrunning midfield, and you can't play round them.
As an opposition manager, how can you pick that up? How can you plan to play against somebody where we don't know how we're going to set up?
No, I think you just have to go for the high press and see what happens. But even then, it's a dangerous game. Pep's a genius. There is no doubt about it.
No, he is. Kev, I won't take any more of your time. I could actually, and literally, I could talk to you all night. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'd love to see you get back in, Corrie. I really would.
Well, that'd be nice. Thank you very much.
No, I really would. Send love to Claire and the kids and everybody. Hiya, Claire. How are you? You good?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, living the dream.
Living the dream. Oh, that's nice. I like your backdrop.
Yeah, it's my little man cave, you know.
Look at that.
Got a big screen there ready for the football.
That's like every man's dream man cave. A Man City's man dream cave.
Yeah. It's got to be done, isn't it?
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all the best.
Andrew, Claire. Kev, it's been an absolute pleasure, buddy. I'll catch up with you real soon.
Okay, take it easy.
Top man. Cheers, Kev.
Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye.
So there you go. That was Curly Watts, Kevin Kennedy. As you can tell, the passion just oozes out of him for City. Even when I was, changing the subjects and stuff like that, he went straight back to City. City's subject straight away. What a guy. If you enjoy what we're doing, subscribe to the channels and stuff like that, the YouTube channels, because we will be having more interviews, coming up. So hopefully you'll be able to watch them and be part of them. If you ever do want to get on the show, just give me a shout and we'll make it happen. Till next time, stay safe, guys. Bye bye.